Good evening. Yeah. Welcome to Love, Loss and Cake. My name is Robert Peacock and I'm the Development Manager for Good Life, Good Death, Good Grief, which is a charity alliance working across Scotland to help people through the hard times that go with death, dying and bereavement. And we're very grateful that tonight's event is a fundraiser for the charity work that we do. Tonight's concert is part of the To Absent Friends Festival, which is a festival we set up 6 years ago to encourage people to tell stories and remember those they love who have died. We realised that November has always been a time of remembrance with events like All Souls Day and Remembrance Day. But in the modern world, we often don't have time to take time to tell stories and remember those that we love who have died. So we set this festival up, and all across Scotland this week, we've been having concerts, storytelling events, craft activities, all sorts of things have been going on to help people tell stories and remember those who have died. And tonight's concert is part of that. So you don't want to hear too much from me because we've got three gents backstage who are wanting to entertain you and tell you their stories and sing songs of love, loss and cake. So please, will you put your hands together for the Swells?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Love, Loss and Cake. Last year, I lost my wife, Sally, and a few years before that, Jeremy, our musical director, lost his wife, Christine. We wanted to tell a story of their lives through the songs that they loved. But there was a problem. I can't play anything. I'm a scientist, and you wouldn't want to hear me play anything because whatever dexterity, the opposite of dexterity, that's what I've got. And applies to typing as well, as you'll find out. So the only solution was for me to learn to sing, or to try to. And I found a wonderful lady called Elena Dana, and I went to her in January, and then we did our Fringe show in August. But these two are great musicians, and I am not, but you'll soon see how that worked out. As for the cake, well, there isn't any, but there's a story about cake, which is part of my recovery from loss. Now, our first song is about that kind of temporary loss when a partner goes away and misses the other one. It's a song about temporary loss, really. So join us now on a train in the middle of America, in the dead of night, called I Thought About You. I took a trip on a train and I thought about you. I passed a shadowy lane and I thought about you. 2 or 3 cars parked under the stars, a winding stream, moon shining down on some little town, and with each beam the same old dream. And every stop that we made, oh, I thought about you. And when I pulled down the shade, oh, I really felt blue. I heard the track and looked at the track, the one going back to you. And what did I do? I thought about you. trip on a train and I thought about you. I passed a shadowy lane and I thought about you. 2 or 3 cars parked under the stars, a winding stream, moon shining down on some little town, and with each beam the same old dream. And every stop that we made, oh, I thought about you. And when I pulled down the shade, I really felt blue. I peeped through a crack and looked at the track, the one going back to you. And what did I do? Oh, what did I do? Yeah, what did I do? I thought about you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let me introduce these wonderful musicians. Our musical director, Jeremy Devlin Thorpe. And our great guitarist, Nick Gent. I am your semi-trained, semi-wild vocalist. Now, song is about love and loss. I fell in love with Sally when I first met her, and you know one thing which it may or may not surprise you, one thing I really fell in love with was her voice. And when later on when I made her laugh, her giggle had a kind of girlish giggle. I wish I could hear those sounds again, but I can't. And Jeremy tells me a lovely story. His wife Christine, she loved to wear hats, and that he's got a lovely thought of her at his sister's wedding when she was wearing a hat. And I've seen the photograph. She looked adorable. But Sally and Christine are gone. But what do we have? Well, I think you know we have just the memories. And there's a song which tells it better in song than I could say it in words. They can't take that away from me. Our romance won't end on a sorrowful note, though by tomorrow you're gone. The song has ended, but as the songwriter wrote, the melody lingers on. They may take you from me, I'll miss your fond caress, but though they take you from me, I'll still possess the way you wore your hat, and the way you sipped your tea, the sound of your voice, the way you giggled with me, the way your smile just beams, the way you sing off key like me, the way you haunt my dreams. Oh no, they can't take that away from me. We may never, never meet again on that bumpy road to love, but I'll always, always keep the memory of the way you held your knife, the way we danced till 3, the way you changed my life. Oh no, they can't take that away from me. No, they can't take that away from me. may never meet again on that bumpy road to love. But I'll always keep the memory of the way you held your knife, the way we danced till 3, the way you changed my life. Oh no, they can't take that away from me. No, they can't take that away. They can't take that away. They can't take that away from me. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Now a song about loss, but it's not. This one's not about loss of love. It's about loss of status. It's about two tramps. You might have heard of it. They think they've been invited to high society tea in New York, the Vanderbilts, of cream of society, and it was made famous by Fred Astaire. Sally loved to see Fred Astaire dance. I'm not going to. Yeah. It's the knee, you know. But she loved to see that. And Fred Astaire sang it with Judy Garland. And Judy Garland's not here, so I have to do it with Jeremy tonight. So it's called We're a Couple of Swells. And it's a story of these tramps who, in their imagination, are going to a high society dinner party. But, of course, they're not. So, Jeremy, you're off to New York. Where the hat? Oh, I've got my hat. Where's your hat? Got it? Oh. Thank you. Are you hiding it? Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Pat. He's been there all night, you know. Right. We're a couple of swells. We stop at the best hotels, but we prefer the country far away from the city smells. We're a couple of sports, the pride of the tennis courts. In June, July and August we look cute when we're dressed in shorts. The Vanderbilts have asked us up to tea.
We don't know how to get there, no sorry.
No siree. We could ride up the avenue, but we haven't got the price. We could skate up the avenue, but there isn't any ice. We could ride on a bicycle, but we haven't got a bike. So we'll walk up the avenue, yes, we'll walk up the avenue. And to walk up the avenue is what we like. Wall Street bankers are we, with plenty of currency. We'd open up the case, but we forgot where we put the key. We're the favourite lads of the girls in the picture ads. We'd like to tell you who we kissed last night, but we can't be cats. No. The Vanderbilts are waiting at the club.
But how are we to get there? There's the rub.
There's the rub. We would sail up the avenue, but we haven't got a yacht. We would ride up the avenue, but the horse we had was shot. We would go on a trolley car, but we haven't got a fare. So we'll walk up the avenue, yes, we'll walk up the avenue, and we'll walk up the avenue till we're there. And we'll walk up the avenue till we're there. Thank you. That was good exercise, huh? I didn't nearly fall over here. Next song is about love, and how do you know when you found it? I know Sally loved this song. It's called The Look of Love. She loved this. So it's not about losing it this time, but about finding it. And how do we know you found it? Well, according to this song, we know when you look into the eyes of another, you can see it there. And the song also tells that such a look into the soul of another person cannot lie. I think it's probably true. The Look of Love. The look of love, it's in your eyes. A look your smile can't disguise. The look of love is saying so much more than just words can ever say. And what my heart has heard, well, it takes my breath away. I can hardly wait to hold you, feel my arms around you. How long have I waited just to find you? Now that I have found you, you got the look of love. It's on your face, a look that time can't erase. Be mine tonight. Let this be just the start of so many nights like this. Let's take a lover's vow and seal it with a kiss. I can hardly wait to hold you, feel my arms around you. How long have I waited just to find you? Now that I have found you, don't ever go. Don't ever go. Don't ever go. But she did go. And our next song, I think, is a song about a place. A place. I'm out of order. You could have got home early. I said I'd sing all the right songs, but not necessarily in the right order. Yeah, I did that once during the week in the Fringe. I did put it right. I didn't get home early. To tell you a bit about the band, Jeremy, as you've just seen, is he's a brilliant musician. He's a bit of a perfectionist, and we practice at my house. And I've got a piano, a lovely piano, 40 years old, but it's beautiful. And Jeremy insists it's out of tune, and the keys are sticky. It's not out of tune. It's not. Nick, is it out of tune? No. I mean, Nick knows about tuning. Nick, show them your guitar. How many strings has that got? 6. You'll see Nick tuning, perhaps sometimes after each number. I've seen him tuning after each number. He doesn't always get it right. I can tell, but they don't seem to notice. Now, my piano, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very, very fond of it, and I've had it for 40 years, and when I think back, the memory, all of us, Sally and I and the children and grandparents and uncles and aunts, Christmas, sitting in a ring round the piano. It was very happy memories. It was in tune then. And it still is, to be honest. But all of us at Christmas, Sally and I, the children and uncles and aunts and grandparents, all in a ring at Christmas round the piano, wishing one of us could play it. But no, I've got to keep nice to him. He's a musical director, but I'm not going to have it tuned. It's in perfect tune. I mean, I do what I can. I had it painted last week. Right, so I'm not going to take you to a new country. It's going to be, it's when love becomes a habit. It becomes a bit comfortable. Frank Sinatra made this famous. He's a master of this song, but he had 50 years practice. I've only had 8 months. And do you know what? Don't tell anybody. I think he had more lovers than I did. That wouldn't be too difficult. But this is a song you might know. You're getting to be a habit with me. Every kiss, every hug seems to act just like a drug. You're getting to be a habit with me. Let me stay in your arms, I'm addicted to your charms. You're getting to be a habit with me. I used to think your love was something that I could take or leave alone. But now I couldn't do without my supply. I need you for my own. Oh, I can't break away. I must have you every day, as regularly as coffee or tea. You got me in your clutches and I can't get free. You're getting to be a habit with me. You're getting to be a habit with me. Whoa. Seems to act just like a drug. You're getting to be a habit with me. Let me stay in your arms, I'm addicted to your charms. You're getting to be a habit with me. I used to think your love was something that I could take or leave alone. But now I couldn't do without my supply. I need you for my own. Oh, I can't break away. I must have you every day, as regularly as coffee or tea. You got me in your clutches and I can't get free. You're going to be a habit with me. You're going to be a habit with me. You're getting to be a habit with me. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Now, a very unusual song. It's the only one I've ever heard about a love of a grandfather for a granddaughter. It comes, I think, from Guys and Dolls, and the grandfather is unhappy with the man that his granddaughter is marrying. She's marrying for money, he thinks, rather than love. I've got 3 granddaughters. They came to the show in the Fringe. They were very quiet. I think possibly Grandpa singing is even more embarrassing than Dad dancing. But they certainly enjoyed it, they said. It's not their kind of music, of course. But very unusual song about marrying the wrong man. So, and the lyrics are dated, but we think rather lovely. So the song is called More I Cannot Wish You. Velvet, I can wish you for the collar of your coat, and fortune following all along your way. But more I cannot wish you than to find your own true love, your own true love this day. Mansions I can wish you, 7 footmen dressed in red, and calling cards upon a silver tray. But more I cannot wish you than to find your own true love, your own true love this day. Standing there, gazing at you, full of the bloom of youth. Standing there, gazing at you with a sheepish eye and a look of the truth. Music, I can wish you merry music while you're young, and wisdom when your hair has turned to grey. But more I cannot wish you than to find your own true love, your own true love this day. With a sheepish eye and a look of the truth, and strong arms to carry you away. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Rather lovely song. Now I come to the little story. When someone dies, you have to tell many organizations, many people, and it's a thankless task, as some of you will know, going to banks and building societies and telling government officers and so on. And I had to do all that in the winter. It was January last year, and miserable. But one of the organizations I had to tell, a minor one really, was a newspaper. Sally had a subscription to the Times, I think it was. And, well, I know it was because I read it digitally, but she hated all that stuff, so she would only read it in the paper form. So I had to phone the Times and cancel her subscription, but not mine, which I did, and that was fine. And about 3 months later, a lady from customer services phoned me and said, condolences on loss of your wife. I said, thank you. And she said, do you know that we have a website for our readers? I said, no. She said, because we think that people who read the same newspaper might get on quite well together. Yeah, some of you got before I did. I wasn't in a good place, so I didn't kind of think of it in any particular way. But a few months after that, again, I was on a train going to visit some friends in Italy, and my phone pinged, and it was from this website. And I touched on it, and it was a message for me from this website, and it said, oh, I tell you what, the lady on the newspaper, of course, she said, you've got to have a profile. So she took a profile down on the phone. She wrote it and asked me some questions and a photograph. And I just did what she said. So that was that. And a few months later on this train in Italy, the phone pinged. So I touched on the message, and it was from this website. And it said, Dear M, I love your profile. I live in Edinburgh. Why don't we get together for a drink sometime? Yours, Jay. So I touched on her or him, and it came up with no profile. There's no profile, there's no photograph, nothing. Now, I know we have lots of genders these days, but I would have preferred it have been from a woman, and I didn't know who it was. I just didn't know. So I wrote back, Dear Jay, thanks for yours. Happy to join you for a drink when I get back to Edinburgh. But first, could I see your profile? Fair enough. There was no profile. As you've gathered, I'm not a terribly good typist, and I think I must have, the last 2 letters I must have not quite typed correctly, but you know, the spell checker does it for you, doesn't it? So when I got back to Edinburgh, I thought I was looking at things on the big screen, and I thought, well, that's strange. Jay hasn't replied. She seemed eager to have a drink. And I thought, I better look what I actually said again. And it said, read like this, Dear Jay, thanks for yours. Happy to have a drink with you when I get back to Edinburgh. But first, could I see your profiteroles? Well, she thinks I'm a pervert, I think. A patisserie pervert. So that was my first experience of elderly dating. And it didn't work out too well. The end of a beautiful friendship. Well, now I've got this in the right, but we're going to Love of a Place. Yeah, that's right. Most songs are about love of a person, but a few are about love of a place. Does anyone recall where Tony Bennett lost his heart? It wasn't Barnsley, no. Oh, San Francisco, that's right. And where did a nightingale sing in London? Berkeley Square, not Wapping, no. Now, this is The Love of a Place, and it's a song made famous by great jazz trumpeter Dizzy Gillespie. And none of us have been to this country, but some of you will have. And we like the lyrics because it's all about the stars and the night and the moon and finding our way through the desert by starlight and the earth ages old and wisdom. So join us now for a night in Tunisia. It's the same moon above you, aglow in this cool evening light, but shining at night in Tunisia, never does it shine so bright. The stars are aglow the wise understand that shining at night in Tunisia, they guide you through the desert sand. Words fail to tell a tale too exotic to be told. Each night's a deeper night in a world ages old. The cares of the day seem to vanish. The ending of day brings release. Each wonderful night in Tunisia, where the nights are filled with peace. The moon is the same moon above you, aglow in its cool evening light, but shining at night in Tunisia, never does it shine so bright. The stars are aglow in the heavens, but only the wise understand that shining at night in Tunisia, they guide you through the desert sand. Words fail to tell a tale too exotic to be told. Each night's a deeper night in a world ages old. The cares of the day seem to vanish. The ending of day brings release. Each wonderful night in Tunisia, where the nights are filled with peace. Each wonderful night in Tunisia, where the nights are filled with peace. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us in Tunisia. This is a sad song now. As you know, Jeremy and I have both experienced loss of a loved one. I'm sure some of you have. When Sally died, I couldn't accept it. I didn't accept it. I thought I could rewind the tape. And that seems to be a common process. I've heard other people say that the first stage is denial. This can't be true. It certainly was for me. And of course, that denial will fail. It has to fail. But it seems to be something you go through. I don't understand why that should be. And this is about that, really. And I think not about death, perhaps, but this is Chet Baker, who was a jazz trumpeter, who was a singer too, and he died tragically young, and he made this song famous. And it's a sort of denial of loss, though, of course, that can't be so. And it's called I Get Along Without You. I get along without you very well, of course I do, except when soft rains fall and drip from leaves, then I recall the thrill of being sheltered in your arms, of course I do. But I get along without you very well. I've forgotten you, just like I should. Of course I have, except to hear your name or someone's laugh that is the same. But I've forgotten you just like I should. What a guy, what a fool am I to think my breaking heart could kid the moon. what's in store. Should I call once more? No, it's best that I stick to my tune. I get along without you very well, of course I do. Except perhaps in spring. But I should never think of spring, for that would surely break my heart in two. It's a sad song, isn't it? And I suppose some of you have been through it. I would, after Sally died, I talked to her every time I came in as if she was there. Of course, that's a kind of denial. I don't do that so much now, but I still do it from time to time. So there is this strange process of denial of something which is perhaps so huge that you can't really take it in. Now, the song next is a more modern one as we come towards the end of our show. It's Sally and I heard it in a bookshop in Vancouver, and it's made famous by Nora Jones. Sally asked me to get it when we heard it in this bookshop. We never heard of Nora Jones. I wish I'd asked her what she thought it meant, because, I find the lyrics enigmatic. I don't quite know what they mean, but they are lovely. So you decide what they mean. It's called I Don't Know Why. House of fun. I don't know why I didn't come. I left you by the house of fun. I don't know why I didn't come. I don't know why I didn't come. But when I saw the break of day, I wished that I could fly away. Instead of kneeling in the sand, catching teardrops in my hand, my heart is drenched in wine. But you'll be on my mind forever. Out across the endless sea, I would die in ecstasy. But I'll be a bag of bones, driving down that road alone. My heart is drenched in wine, but you'll be on my mind forever. Something's got to make you run. I don't know why I didn't come. I feel as empty as a drum. I don't know why I didn't come. I don't know why I didn't come. I don't know why I didn't come. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why I didn't come. I had another slight disaster with my fat fingers. A lady who I'd only met once must have heard about the show in the Fringe, and she sent me a text saying, Malcolm, heard about your show. Can I come? It wasn't the profiterole lady, I don't think. Could have been, but... Malcolm, I heard about your show. Can I come? Well, I was flattered. I immediately texted back and said, yes, do come. I'll give you a ticket. And within a few minutes, there were, they have these smiling faces, on emojis, I think. I never use them, but there were 6 smiling faces and 2 words. 6 smiling faces, perhaps afterwards. What does that mean? I mean, please come, I'll give you a ticket. And she writes back 6 smiling faces and perhaps afterwards. I didn't know what it meant. But as you probably know by now, I've got into the habit of checking what I actually sent. My fat fingers. I'd actually sent, do come, I'll give you a tickle. So I had to clear the audience early that night. Now we've come to our last number, I'm afraid, and it's a number that you can join in because it's only got 2 words that you need to learn, do and ah. Can you remember that? 2 words, do and ah. And it's called It Don't Mean a Thing. What good is melody? What good is music if it ain't possessing something sweet? No, it ain't the melody and it ain't the music. There's something else that makes a song complete. Whoa, it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Do-ah, 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 do-ah. It don't mean a thing, all you've gotta do is sing. Do-ah, 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 do-ah. It makes no difference if it's sweet or hot. Just give that rhythm everything you got. Oh, it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Do-ah, 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 do-ah. Do-ah, 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 do-ah. Do-ah, 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 do-ah. It makes no difference if it's sweet or hot. Just give that rhythm everything you got. Oh, it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Do-ah, 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 do-ah. Do-ah, 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 do-ah. Do-ah, 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 do-ah. One more? Oh, okay. One more. Well, for Sally and Christine, would you like to come to the moon? Yeah? Yeah, let's go to the moon. Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what life is like on Jupiter or Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Ba ba da 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 do da do da 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 la da 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 ba ba da do 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 da 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 da. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I wish for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce thank these fine musicians, keyboard and musical director, the wonderful Jeremy Devlin Thorpe. And on guitar, the marvellous Nick Gent. Now, you've been a very warm audience, and we've been honoured to have you with us tonight. And Sally and Christine would have loved to be here. Perhaps they have been. Now, a few thanks. So, is Elena in the house? Elena, would you come and say hello? Elena is a brilliant teacher. Well, I thought she might have left in the halfway. You stayed the whole time. No, she's a brilliant teacher, and who could imagine that I, a scientist who couldn't play anything, could sing? Well, you might disagree, but I certainly tried. And so, Elena, tell us about what you do.
No, I just want to talk about you, Malcolm. Well done. I haven't seen Malcolm for a long, long time because I moved to The Hague. And last time I've seen Malcolm was in August, and I'm here just for a couple of days. And I said to Malcolm, "Would you like to practice?" And he's like, "No, I'm fine." So I'm not gonna talk about deep breath in and out, but
You're a sweetheart.
I'm gonna say you done marvelously today. Thank you so much for putting this show and making us smile and reconnect with those who've gone. Thank you so much. It was amazing. You guys are amazing as always. Well done. Well done. Great show.
Thank you. Give her a big hand. Wonderful lady, and she's she stayed the whole show, so she must have thought it was all right. I thought she might leave in the middle. Anyway, if it wasn't to your liking, it's her fault. So it's goodbye from Jeremy, and it's goodbye from Nick, and it's goodbye from me and all my profiteroles. Good night.
1, 2, 3, 4. Do-a, 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 do-a.
Thank you. Good night.